Welcome, one and all. We're back again, week 5 for the Dynasty DNA Zone Culture Shock, featuring the one and only my big friend, Big Bob Helfert. You can follow him over on Twitter at Big E Fat Bob. And the saying goes, he's a man of many names, and the other name, other than Big E Fat Bob, is Big Culture Bob, because we talk about culture. And there was some bad football today, and Blob was just blowing up the Dynasty DNA group chat. So much bad play going on, a lot to talk about. So without further ado, Bob, the first thing that upset you after week 5 that's on your list, what was it?
Well, I think that we were premature in thinking that Jackson Dart's bad game was going to be the first game because, they won that game. Although, Jackson Dart didn't do much. He ran the ball. He was effective. He played short passes, made Theo Johnson. But, they had 5 turnovers, and that's atrocious. It's terrible. 5 turnovers, to not just completely blast the Giants here. They had 5 turnovers and managed to only lose by 2 scores. So apparently something went okay for the Giants. And I don't know, but it's absolute terrible football in the aspect of did this team need Abdul Carter? It's nice to go get that cherry on the top guy, but Thibodeau, Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, their front, it was really good. And then they go add Abdul Carter. Wouldn't it have just been nice to add an offensive line piece or maybe another weapon so you're not completely relying on Neighbors? Oh, that's right, because that poor guy got hurt. Or how about we just not have a crappy field that everybody gets hurt on? What I seen some meme or whatever, or somebody was telling me about it. I think it's like MetLife versus ACLs is undefeated or whatever. It's it's 20 something ACL. I don't know. It's some astronomical number of ACLs that have been torn at MetLife Stadium. And it's 2 teams play there. And guess what? It's 2 of the worst teams in the NFL. We're not surprised. The Jets and the Giants, and why are they even called New York? They're in New Jersey. It's so stupid to me, but whatever. So I don't know. We're going to see the cycle. Everybody get ready for the cycle. Team brings in a quarterback. It's not going to be very much longer. They're going to fire their head coach. They're going to fire their offensive coordinator. That quarterback's got to try and learn a whole new system. The weapons finally come back. They might add weapons. They might not. They might add offensive linemen. It probably won't because they're a dumb franchise. And nobody wants the number 1 overall pick. Apparently we're going to get to more of that. So I don't know. They're drowning in inefficiency and stupidity. And they kept adding to a defense that really didn't need to be added to. They did good work in free agency, in my opinion, but it's a bad mix when you can't have an offense. Theo Johnson, we were hoping, I think you picked him to be one of the breakout tight ends for this year. Oh, sure, it's awesome. He's got 3 touchdowns now, but you got to be able to do more with the ball. And Scatterboo fumbled the ball, which I don't remember him having too much trouble with that in college. But guess what? You're in the NFL now. You're not at Ohio or Iowa State. You're just going. You're playing against the big boys. Jackson Dart's playing against the big. You need time. These guys need time, and NFL franchises, especially the ones that I hammer on every week, don't give them enough time to have the time to build themselves up.
Yeah, and coaching, Bob. I just, we're going to get to that too as we go through the coming weeks, who's going to be on the hot seat, who's going to be out the door. So the Giants had to have made your list today because, yes, 5 turnovers is atrocious. Jackson Dart running around, dropping the ball. No one was even, he just dropped the ball. That is Bush League-y type stuff. And look, Jackson Dart's just a kid. He's still a rookie, but you cannot have that happen. And as you said, Scatterbo, Slayton had a fumble. A guy like Slayton that's been around forever. It's just embedded in them. It's turnover culture, bad play culture. So the Giants made the list today. Who else made the list?
Well, let's start with, let's not start. We're going to Tennessee. So, they we're at the point now where I don't even know how many offensive touchdowns they've had, but today they had 1 and managed to win this game. I probably should be bashing Arizona, but in all honesty, You are a team that needs to suck to get that number one pick. It's not, trust me, people out there, there's not only quarterbacks that get drafted. This whole team needs a whole lot of stuff. And having the number one overall pick and being able to sell it out for either somebody that is a defensive stalwart at the top, or an offensive lineman stud at the top, or if somebody's crazy and wants whoever the next quarterback is at the top, which that's starting to really get sour. And if you've watched any college football, the number one quarterback anymore is not the number one quarterback it was 3 months ago or 5 months ago, whatever. That I digress from that. But like, this team gets one offensive touchdown, then Cam Ward throws an interception that they get a fumble recovery for to get the other score that basically helps them win the game. Like, Tyler Lockett, don't touch the ball. We need to lose. And I'm sure that he's probably not aware of that. But here again, we're going to have this whole new cycle again. Callahan is going to end up losing his job. What's crazy is his dad's the offensive line coach, generally one of the best offensive line coaches in football. But for whatever reason, he ain't got enough. The pieces in the puzzle are not cut right. Something is not right here, because he needs one of them boards. Like, you remember the old school TJ where it had the peg on the top and the shit just fit right into it? Yeah, that's what he needs. He needs a 3-year-old puzzle, not a 40-year-old puzzle, whatever, age limit puzzles come in. I don't know. It's whatever. but like, it's the offensive line's not working. They're not playing very good defense. Like, they knocked Kyler out of this game. And like what the heck happened? And they still, I'm like, I don't know, man. They're brain dead. They're not working. They're not doing things the right way. Like I seen somebody, and I think Teixeira sent it to me, and it was like, this guy said, well, Will Levis and Cam Ward were basically doing about the same thing at the same level. Right. And it's like, if that was the case, then why did you draft Cam Ward? And I mean, they don't know that, of course, but that just tells you that Will Levis wasn't all the problem. The rest of the team is garbage. And like,
we see it with Daniel Jones. You say it, Bob, retread quarterbacks, right? Like, you got to take, in Justin Fields' case, I've never been a big fan, but I mean, going to the Jets, like a cultural abyss, like the Jets, right? Like, we should have known we were going back a step, right? Like, when you got Daniel Jones, who spent a year with the Vikings, when you got a Sam Darnold, who spent a year with the Vikings, right? Or look what Mac Jones just did for the 49ers. I mean, it's not a coincidence. I mean, coaching's a big part of this. So I don't know how you feel, but I mean, I think that's the biggest thing we got to talk about here with some of these guys not having success. And like you said, they keep taking quarterbacks, these teams, and they just keep ruining them.
I did just a very quick amount of research. I think I mentioned it either on the deep dive or whatever, where I went through that. Let's see. I think it was 10 quarterbacks have played for 3 teams. Most of those quarterbacks started out with the Jets, the Cleveland Browns. It's like, oh, okay. So how is it that now Baker Mayfield's a relatively successful quarterback? Sam Darnold actually looks decent in Seattle. Oh, right. Maybe it was because he was with trash in his other places. And I feel bad for Justin Fields, because I believe that Chicago may have actually ruined him. So Chicago,
you can't talk about the Bears today, Bob. They're on a bye. You got to give them a break. So
bye.
No, I mean, yes, it is very bad. So I'm glad you brought that point up. The Tennessee Titans, Bob's telling you guys, you don't have to always take a quarterback. Your offensive line's terrible. Your whole team's really terrible. Take some talented players and build a foundation. As Bob likes to say, build a garage for your sports cars.
So I didn't pick on Cincinnati this week, but you want to talk about a team that needs a garage. But they don't need. We talked about this before too. They don't just need a garage; they need a piece of land. They need to start. They need to strip all the studs down and start all over. But they're not on my list, although they probably should be. So
there's a lot of bad football today, Bob. We talked about it, but who's number 3? Who's coming in at number 3?
All right, let's just go with the Browns. I don't know, man. Other than Quinshon Judkins, is there anything worth anything on this team? they bring, and it's like we talked about how it was a bad idea to start Jackson Dart, but I'm like, it's a bad idea to start Dylan Gabriel, period. Like, let's not even worry about it. Like, we talked about this ad nauseum. They spent, excuse me, they spent draft capital on every quarterback they have in their quarterback room at the beginning of the offseason, besides, who was it? Flacco. So besides Flacco, yeah, big stall there. Besides Flacco, like, he was the only, and they just gave him money. It's like, here, come on in, Flacco, be a coach QB or something like that. But like, you see little Dylan Gabriel standing next to Joe Flacco, it's like, a little, I don't know, like Mama Bear, Papa Bear, or something like that. It's funny, and yes, he's left-handed. I don't have to keep hammering that down. And he didn't play a bad game, but they're void of talent on offense. Like, outside of Fannin and Njoku, and like, I don't think that they were terrible today, but like, you don't have, you still don't really, I can't imagine that this is the plan. We can't, if anybody believes that Dylan Gabriel is going to be the starter for this franchise for the next 4 years, let alone 4 months, I'll be shocked. It's just, he's not the guy, and it's not going to be effective. And just like we talked about with Baker Mayfield, like, you just keep like, we seen the picture of the jersey. I sent it in the chat. There's like 40 names of, Browns quarterbacks that have absolutely just fallen apart because the team's garbage. And like, I'm telling my wife today, I'm like, the Browns elite defense is elite. Like, they're good. Like, and the only reason they're staying in any kind of games is because of the defense, and they get gas at the end. And I can't imagine that they don't just lose a game. Like, why don't teams have a plan, TJ? Why don't they have a plan? And at that point, it's like, if the plan was all you're going to do is run the ball, then you don't need to draft Dylan Sampson. You need to draft like 4 guys that are just road graders. Let's just road grade all day long. We got to make sure, get explosive guys that can get 3 to 4 yards every time, not without even thinking about it. And we'll fake a pass here and there, something along those lines.
And it's this too, Brown. I'm going to say this about the Browns, Bob, and I think you agree with me on this. Like, being a Pittsburgh Pirate fan, I see it. Like, even when you try to do something and you're trying to do it with the best intentions, it goes wrong, right? Now, I'm not saying that happens. It's very rarely that happens with the Pirates, and that very rarely happens with the Browns. But, like, they make some of these crazy, like when they traded Baker Mayfield just to get Deshaun Watson. I mean, what are you doing, right? Like, they don't have a plan. And, we see it. These guys go different places. They perform. They play better. And it's like, big shocker, right? Because every franchise they get plugged into has that plan. And it's disgusting. It really is. And that's why they're always going to be where they're at. And, Kevin Stefanski, look, I mean, he is a guy that's won Coach of the Year 2 times. I mean, I think you can debate on the second one that, in a way, maybe he shouldn't have gotten that one. I will give him the first one for sure, when they won that playoff game and beat the Steelers with Baker Mayfield. But the skies just were never getting bright there. And that's the thing. Like, we talk about culture and how it's a real thing. Like, it is. And there's like 5 to 7 teams. Like, there's some people that can get themselves out of it from time to time, but there are 5 to 7 teams that just live in that basement constantly. And Cleveland's one of them. So, I mean, like you said, Bob, I mean, I don't know how you take that and interpret that, but I think that even when they try to do things with the best intentions, it's just a failure, because there is no continuity. There is no program in place to where this is what we want to be, right?
Yeah, the decisions just cut the nose off their face. I mean, however the saying goes, you get my point. It's like, hey, let's do this crazy thing. Like, this might really help us. And again, like, Baker Mayfield's second year or whatever, he was hurt half the time. Like, you drafted the dude 101. You had to think something of him. Like, seriously, just because he hurt his shoulder, it's like, I mean, that dude should have been the face. And I mean, what really probably hurt him was bringing Odell Beckham in.
Yeah.
And I mean, and again,
that's the move, though, Bob. That's when you do. That's what you tried. Oh, the best intentions. Look, we're trying to help our young quarterback, but it goes wrong. It doesn't matter what it is. It just goes wrong.
But you got to have an alpha personality somewhere that says, look, you guys are the players. Do what I'm asking you to do, regardless of how you feel about it or whatever. And some players just aren't. coach friendly, if that's the word I'm looking for. They just need, and I mean, Odell Beckham, for all his highlights and everything, was really a basket case. I mean, Tomlin's done such an amazing job taking idiots and dealing with the way their situations and managing them as human beings, not just as players. Because like, I don't understand how anybody could deal with Antonio Brown the way he was. Like, are you serious? Like, but
let me say this, like you said, though, Bob, you hit it on the head. Instead of getting Baker Mayfield, a Odell Beckham in Cleveland, why didn't they get him like a Michael Pittman type guy, right? Why didn't they get him, like you said, a Mike Evans? Like, if you're going to go out and try to get somebody like that, like get a team guy. Like, I mean, you need a guy like that in Cleveland. You got to have someone too that's willing to embrace that city. And it's very rare to find, but like, I mean, I remember, and this is the last point I'm going to bring up, the Pirates brought in AJ Burnett. It was at the end of his career. Love to try to help the team get back up, and like he embraced it, right? Like you need guys to buy in and embrace it. I mean, I think some of these guys just don't take it seriously, and like you said, they don't have an alpha personality in the front office, in the coaching room, and they need that. They need a guy that can lead them in a direction. So it is bad, and hey, they're a team to me. Like you said, outside of Quinshawn Junkins, they could be in the running. So you had Cleveland at 3. Who do you have at 4?
All right, so this one I'm kind of going to wrap all these teams together because it's Vegas. Vegas is absolute dumpster fire. Like poor Slim, he's gonna keep getting it from me on Genty. Every running back today that was above Genty, I'm like, said player, greater than Genty. Like all of them, everybody was out. I don't want to say. I think he ended up as RB11 with 2 games left to play or something like. Whatever. But it's like, why in the world are you taking a guy at 6? You're not even remotely ready for the guy. And it's like, oh, we did all the right things. We signed Geno Smith, who's like leading the league in interceptions right now. Like, well, that was super genius. Do you even have more than 3 guys for him to pass it to? And like all of us like Brock Bowers. But like, was it smart to take Brock Bowers as early as they did? Like, that's that team. It's like we talk about, the fantasy community will talk about, and I mean, I remember Ty talking about this with Colson Loveland, but they drafted him so high, they'll have to use him. It'll be all this blah, 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 blah. They'll have to use him. Well, yeah, but like, that doesn't mean that he's going to be productive. That doesn't mean that it's going to be exciting for fantasy. It just means you're going to burn the guy out and he's going to, get hurt. I'm like, that's what happened with Brock Bowers. I hope it doesn't happen with Genty, but it wouldn't surprise me if they're like, oh, let's just keep pounding Genty. It's all we got, and lo and behold, I mean, we can't throw the ball. We might as well give it to Genty, so on and so forth. Like, it's just,
yep.
And like we've talked about this nearly with every team so far, and it triples down with Vegas. Like, you're a team that doesn't have a quarterback that's going to push you through success. You don't have a coach that you're excited to build your team. Like, is Pete Carroll going to be a team building coach at this point? He's 80 years old almost? Like, seriously. Like, and it's like, you got to have a direction there. And it's like, I really thought that when they brought Brady in, they were bringing a bright light into the room. And it's like, no, I think Brady went in and was like, I'm going to make a crap ton of cash off this ride. Let's just turn all the lights off so I can save more money, make more cash. Cause like, nobody here has any idea what we're supposed to be doing. Like, let's pay Max Crosby a whole bunch of money. He'll be our only guy on defense, but let's just pay him a ton of money. Like,
I know exactly what you're saying about the running back ball. I know that bothers you with Jenny, and I agree with you, right? Like, it didn't make a ton of sense. And like you always say, Mountain West guy, like, I mean, look, he was very impressive. I do think he deserved the Heisman. I think he kind of got robbed in a way, but at the same token, he is playing that later competition. Then you go to a team like the Raiders against a stacked rushing defensive division like the AFC West. That's not good on top of it. And there isn't no quarterback there. There isn't no offensive line. There isn't really any seriously high-end receiving weapons there as much as we like Jacoby Myers. And it is a problem. There's no doubt it's a problem. And like, I'm just going to compare New England to Las Vegas for a minute, right? Like, New England, what did they do? Okay, we talk about teams that stay in the basement like Vegas, right? New England is a team that can get themselves out of the basement. They're kind of starting that right now. Like, they like Drake May, fine. If you like a quarterback, I have no problem you taking him. But you better have a plan. you better try to develop them the way you need to develop them. And then you need to get the proper help in behind them. Like we've seen them draft Will Campbell this year, right? Top 5 pick. That was a great pick for New England. They're not drafting these highly, highly sought after wide receivers. I mean, a lot of people wanted them to take this player, that player. They took Will Campbell, right? So just makes sense. That's how you do it. I mean,
what else did they do, TJ? They let Drake May sit almost all year last year.
Yep.
He barely. Well, I mean, you think he played 13 games, so he still played a majority of the year. But they're like, hey, look, we want you to get some film in behind you. Let's let you. And yeah, and he had rookie mistakes. And Slim Lambay said, most you and I both on the deep dive talking about, oh, Drake May doesn't do this, Drake do that. Like, what? He's a rookie, Slim. Like, come on, like, let's give the dude some time and like trust in a system, because that's exactly what Kraft did. He brought in Belichick's system when he brought Vrabel in, because he brought Josh McDaniels back. There's so much continuity still in that franchise that almost everybody hates because they had so much success for all that time. It's like, I wish they'd have brought in somebody a little younger than Diggs, but Diggs is kind of still turning it around a little bit. And it's like, it doesn't matter. It's like, we're going to start. We got 2 running backs. We're going to try and milk them guys out. We're going to try and progress our wide receivers along. We're going to build our defense the right way. We're trying to build up our offensive line the right way. My God. And it looks like, yes, what have they won 2 games or whatever?
Right.
So it's like, and they got beat by Vegas, right? That was, I'm sure Slim's hanging his hat on that.
Yeah, it was close. But again, like you said, they have 2 wins and they've been competitive in these games. It ain't like they're getting blowed out. And we're seeing Drake May look more comfortable, right? Like that's the thing. Like he's taking that step. And, they play Buffalo tonight. And I wouldn't be shocked if they give Buffalo a game. I'm not saying they're going to win. I highly doubt that. But I don't think they're just going to get lambasted. I really don't. So really love the call out. And I'm glad we got to talk about it. See, Bob's really happy now. Getting back to New England, some teams that are trying to work themselves out of the basement, unlike those cellar dwellers. But Bob, you got one more thing to talk about here before we close out this episode of the Culture Shock. What's the last thing on your list tonight?
So while all these teams that we've talked about apparently don't understand their direction, I am blown away by the fact that I go to an 0-6 team, well, doubleheaders. I go to an 0-6 team or 0-4 team or whatever the record is. They haven't won a game. They're bottom basement points. And I'm like, hey, look, I'll send you my injured Malik Neighbors for your Quentin Johnston and this player and maybe a draft pick or whatever. I'm just trying to and they're like, I think I'm going to hold on to him. And I'm like, and I mean, like, I'm sitting there and I look at it and I think about it and I'm like, man, I really didn't want to do that deal to begin with, but like, what? Like, I don't understand. Like, and you're just, these people, I got another guy in another league that's got Quinshon Judkins, and I send him like Jaden Royals a first for Quinshon Judkins in a second. And I'm like, yes, it's a kind of a crap deal. I kind of got called out on it on our other podcast. The guy's like, oh, it's a crap deal. I'm like, I said, Judkins for a first would have been a decent deal, and Royals for a second would have been a decent deal. I was like, maybe even an overpay. So, well, I just don't like Royals. And I'm like, well, it's not you. I'm like, I didn't send that trade to you. I sent it to the other guy. And he's like, well, he sent it to me, telling me it was crap. I'm like, well, tell him to counter. Nobody even counters. And the guy's like, you're going to have to pay me a hefty penny for Judkins. And I'm like, you're not going to be competing for 4 years, dude. If you looked at your team, it's awful. Like, you're just going to waste Judkins on your team. And it's like, just like the Raiders are going to waste Genty, just like the Browns are going to waste Judkins. I mean, of course, that doesn't matter to us in fantasy. As long as they're scoring, we don't care. But like, as fantasy players, like, understand where you're going. Like, I don't get, like, as soon as my team loses that 3rd or 4th game, like, I look and I'm like, okay, did I get beat badly by the best teams in the league? Or am I like the worst? If I'm in the bottom 5, I don't know, 2 or 3 or 4 and points scored, and like, I just made stupid decisions, or, I mean, I will judge that. And most of the websites we play fantasy football on all tell you your efficiency score, how many points you scored, what your opponent scored, all that crap is right there on the website. Like, if you're in the bottom basement and going to be in the bottom basement, start selling running backs off. Go to play, and you don't have to do it right away. But man, like what we talked about, man, if you could have got a second for Michael Carter today, you'd been sitting on gold, and the guy would have been tickled pink. He'd come back to you again, trying to get another player.
Well, it's just like this, Rico Dwaddle, right? Like he is a guy that I talked
about. I
bought
Rico Dwaddle this week.
Yep. All off season, we talked about Rico being a great sneaky buy in this Carolina offense. Jordan Mason, guys like that. Now, if you're not going in the right direction, you're going to be able to sell them probably a lot more than what you bought them for, right? So you're right, Bob. And, I see that a lot too, being in so many dynasty leagues I'm in. And it is the truth. You guys just got to really, like, if you have a bad team, it's okay. You could get yourself out of it really quickly. And, 2027's coming. We talk about 2027 all the time. And believe me, it'll be here before we know it. And, like we get to 26, like the sooner we get closer to 27, like as soon as the new year hits and it's 2026, every month that goes by, those picks are going to become harder and harder to attain. So like, if you're going to be a bad team right now, you could have a really good starting launch point. I give this example all the time, Bob. I had a bad team, going in before the 2024 draft. Mm-hmm. I traded so many assets. I think I ended up with like 4 to 5 first round picks. I got like Drake May, Malik Neighbors, Brock Bowers, all these type guys on my team, Lad McConkey. Like I was able to pick all these guys and Michael Penix. I need another quarterback. So like you get all these players and it's like, man, it could just turn your whole team around very quickly. So don't hold on to them veteran assets. And as Bob said, like if you are a bad team, be honest with yourself. There's no need to hold on to running backs because you know how it is too, Bob. One bad injury, it can change the entire outlook completely on a running back too.
Yeah, I got that, and I got one other thing to say. When we're on these group chats, don't be a douche. We ran into a guy, and I don't want to call out his name because, like, I really just I tried to reach to his sensibilities. Like, we're obviously we're not GMs or whatever, right? We don't work for the NFL, but we're compiling knowledge that we've gained. We bounce it off of each other. That's 95% of it. If you think your process is brilliant, then why are you in that group chat anyway? That's fine. And more power to you. Start your own network, because if you're brilliant, people are going to love to listen to your brilliant knowledge, but don't interject and just be a douche about it. Like, and if you want to land-based players, I'll land-based players too. Everybody and my mom knows that Kyle Pitts is trash, so it's like, it is what it is. And like, there's no reason to be hateful to each other. And I think some people are just taking it too far, and it is what it is. That guy, hopefully he, if he listens to this, great. If he doesn't, that's fine. And I don't care. I got broad shoulders. I'm an old man. I just don't want people to think that I'm not trying to run anybody's team. You and I have joked about it. There's some of these guys that'll send you every trade offer that they're thinking about sending. I'm like, man, is it my team or is it your team? Because like, I don't mind giving you advice, but like at a certain point, you just gotta go with your gut. I kind of have confirmation bias. If I have a deal that I've done, I'll send it to somebody and be like, "What was I an idiot?" Like you'll either tell me or you won't. And it's like, but for the most part, I'm like, well, if I made a mistake, I made a mistake. It's not like I'm getting paid millions of dollars like some GM that took Cash and Genty with the top 6 pick.
Well, it's like this, Bob, and that is the honest to God's truth. And like in that scenario, like we're trying to help somebody else that's asking questions, and that's what a community chat's all about. And as you said, like, yes, we're not obviously the best of the best that's ever done this. I don't think really there anybody is, because you can't predict a lot of this stuff. Yeah, we are getting close. We are getting close. You can't predict this stuff. And, sometimes things do happen. But, whenever we do this every day, we do these shows every day, we work with the best of the best. Like, and I mean that, like you and Wiz and Mike, both Mikes, and Tashara and Ty and everybody we have, and Slim.
Don't forget Slim.
Yeah.
He's wrong about Pitts, but that's okay.
Right. We love Slim. Slim is a beast, no doubt about it. But it's just like, we just have so many great minds here. And it's like, I trust everyone and what they have to say, and it's much appreciated. So everyone's just trying to help. If you have a difference in opinion, it's no big deal. Just, say, I disagree, and you can have a friendly little disagreement about it. And that's discourse, right? That is going on there, and that's talking it out. And sometimes, people do open your eyes and say, okay, that's a good point. Sometimes hey, if you don't see it our way, then you don't have to give a bad reaction about it. So I love that as well, Bob. I'm glad you brought that up. We're always here to help. That's the main thing. It might not always work. We might not always give you the perfect advice, but we're here to help. And this was a great episode of the Culture Shock. Number 3 here, episode 3. Bob is burning the midnight oil. And we'll be back next week. And we'll be back with the deep dive, Bob. Are you ready to take on Slim again this week?
It's easy pickings with Slim. I feel like Ty. It's terrible. I don't want to be like Ty, like at least like that. He just feels, when I started listening to you guys, it was like, Muss is easy pickings, and I'm like, that's like, but nah, I feel bad. Like, I don't want to. Slim's a fun conversation.
He is. He absolutely is. But guys, if you are enjoying the content, you want to see more of me and Big Bob and everyone on the Dynasty DNA Network, go over to the Dynasty DNA Podcasting Network. Like, subscribe, follow, 5-star on Spotify, Apple Pod, Stitcher, Amazon. If you're watching on YouTube, a subscribe, a like, a comment, anything's much appreciated. We appreciate you guys, and we'll keep bringing you great content. We have fun doing it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend ahead of you. Hope you guys win your Week 5 matchups and you get a lot of them W's. We'll see you all